Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to the United Stand. It's Friday Night Live, I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news as we receive a huge boost in relation to Aiden Heaven's injury. Also, our clubs hiking their striker prices and pushing Man United toward free agents. We'll talk about the latest price updates on Sesko and Ekatike. And we've got Nicky Butt and Ryan Giggs speaking about Manchester United's current plight. Some very damning statements about there not really being a way back. We'll talk about that. Some good juicy stuff on a Friday night to get into. I just want to say as well, I was in Dublin the other night. Big shout out. I said I'd do it for him. Dane came backstage and gave me one of these Manchester United collector's medals. Thank you very much, Dane. You're an absolute legend. And I did say thank you. And I was definitely going to mention it on a show when next I was live. So thank you very much to Dane, legend. And also, yes, talking about the show, the live show is now available to the members. I think it's been up for an hour or so. I'm only halfway through it. I'm so proud of it. I mean, obviously I lived it, so it's hard to tell. But I've watched the first half and I know the second half bangs. And I just want to say, even if you've not watched it yet, whether you were there, legends, whether you're going to watch it, legends, that's going to be very difficult to top that show. It was, it's just got sections in it. When you watch it, you'll see what I mean. And it's perfect from start to finish. It's just, it just has the right bits in it. There's a quiz in there which worked really well. There's the Ricky and Beth bit. We've got Danny from the script, and then he's singing at the end. There's me at the start. Just really, really, really enjoying it. And obviously I was in it. So if you want to watch that now, it's on the members section. Obviously you can join the members club to watch it, scan the QR code, but to the members, it's there for you to watch straight after this Friday night viewing. Lovely stuff. Welcome back, March, says Savage. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate that. A few new members, Sarah, Richard, Ryan, Stefanio and Christina. Thank you very much. Awesome show, Mark. Just finished it, says Carl. Thank you very much. I think you'll love it. I think you'll really love it. Perfect for the international break. Right, a bit of positive news before we get into these damning comments that Nicky Butt and Ryan Giggs have made about Sir Jim Radcliffe and his plans around Man United, and more importantly, the Glazers. We're hearing from Manchester Evening News that Aiden Heaven is out of his protective boot and is expected to start training soon after this international break. So that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't say it's set in stone, but it is absolutely fantastic because when we saw him going off against Leicester, which isn't even a week ago until Sunday, I was thinking Christmas. And not because I like Santa or anything like that. I was thinking that's how long he's going to be out for. I mean, they wouldn't show us the pictures on Sky. He's taken off on a stretcher. But if he's out the protective boot already and they're talking about being back in training in April, I'm not even that bothered if it's like middle of April or back end of April. I mean, international break, fine, but it's great news. We'll have to wait and see, but it's sounding very, very positive on Aiden Heaven. So really, really pleased about that and good news for a Friday night. Gareth Nolan says, gave Ross a pint at the show and he was meant to bring me and my brother for a pint with yous after and then he left us, says Gareth Nolan. Oh, it's nice of him. Dave Naylor, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. And Harsher United as well. Night in for me, AMG. So we'll be joining you across this and England game. Can't wait. Oh yeah, I am on the England game after this, by the way. That's why we're a little bit early tonight. I had just remembered that. Make it a treble, Mark. Watch Gareth. Watch me there. Watch me on the England game and then watch the Dublin show. Be a member. Brilliant. I'm going to be watching it later with a can. Right, let me talk. I want to talk about this. This is what we're here for. So Manchester United legends have been speaking to Chris Wheeler in the Daily Mail, and they've been very damning about Project Manchester United. This was the question put to Nicky Butt. It's been 12 years since Manchester United last won the title. I really want to get your thoughts on this. 12 years since we won the title. Is Project 150 to win it again by 2028 too ambitious? I get lost on the projects, by the way. We've got Project 150. I can't remember what that's all about. We've also got Project 21. Yeah, we've got all sorts of projects going on with Manchester United at the moment. But project this, project that, Order 66, whatever. Nicky Butt said, that ain't going to happen. Man United are not going to win the title before 2028. It's going to be a long way off. And the most important thing is starting on the right foot. Hopefully get this season put to bed because it's been a disaster. What gets me is that everyone expects other clubs to sit still. Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal will get better and Man City will definitely get better. I love this community. I love this community because you know when you get an ex-player that says something like that, you know it's going to resonate because we're going to mention it on here. But we've all been bloody saying it for ages. I've specifically said this for months. Every bloody project we get forgets the glaringly obvious. Nobody's going to sit there and go, Man United want to win the title in 3 years' time. You know what? It's about time they did. Let's just sit on our arse and do nothing. You know, United are there in a race, right? And they're stretching. Ooh, oh, can I touch my toes? Oh, yeah. Oh, let's have a stretch. Oh, yeah, I'm ready. We're ready for 28. We're getting ready to race. We're getting ready. Come on, let's do it. And everybody else is already running. They're already running. But we're getting ready for 28 like everybody else isn't already far. In fact, they're not just running, they're already far ahead. They're already miles in the distance and we're there stretching it out. Oh yeah, come on, let's stretch it out. And Nicky Butt's absolutely right because we've been talking about it for bloody ages. We're massively behind and they're not going to stand still to let us catch up anyway. But this is the nonsense. I mean, when I was on stage on Wednesday night, I said, you know what? You've got the protests, fantastic, on the Sunday. You've got the interview with Gary Neville on the Monday. I mean, isn't it surprising that Gary Neville got the interview with Sir Jim Radcliffe and then the next day Gary Neville was doing the audio for the video about the new stadium? I mean, it's not even hidden, the PR, is it? Gary Neville does interview with Sir Jim Radcliffe. Next day, Gary Neville is the audio on the official video from the club for the new stadium. So you get protests, spin interview, and then on the Tuesday you get pictures of the new stadium, which I genuinely think they typed into ChatGPT, create some images of a stadium that will divide this fan base and stop them talking about how bad Sir Jim and the Glazers are. Because literally that's what happened after those images came out. You got a load of fans going, I love it. I bloody love it. I'm willing for us to win nothing forever as long as those pictures might get built. And then you've got realists going, it will never get built. It's never going to happen for years and years and we can't stand still. And I think that's the spin we have in charge, is that they're always talking about the future. The future never happens, by the way. Figure it out. Does tomorrow ever come? Tomorrow is today. Today is what you live. The past is gone. The future never happens. You only ever live in the present. And what United sell you is magic dust from the future. We're going to be good in the future. We're going to be good in 3 years. Project 28. It's just Ed Woodward quotes repackaged. So I think I loved that from Nicky Butt when he said that, Project 28 ain't going to happen. It's going to be a long way off. And what gets me is that everyone expects other clubs to sit still. Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal will get better. Man City will definitely get better. I mean, that's 5 clubs straight away. 5 clubs straight away. So what did Ryan Giggs said? He says there's a lot of work to be done because of what's happened over the last 10 years, recruitment-wise and with bad decisions both on and off the pitch. It's not great to see. It might be a long time before we bring success back onto the pitch, but from what I've seen so far, I believe Amorim's got a great chance if he is backed. And that's the big thing, isn't it? The way that he's remained positive and called a few people out when it's needed. He's got the charisma, that personality, but he's also got that bit of steel as well. So look, it's good that Ryan Giggs is saying that about Amorim, because I think Amorim is the guy that will only succeed if he gets the backing. The next question was, United went 26 years without a title and Liverpool 30. Could that be happening again? Nicky Butt said, I would never be naive to say it won't take that long because big clubs like Man United have done it before where they've had to wait very long. I hope not, but I wouldn't bet against it. I don't think anyone's got a given right to go and win the Premier League. I mean, Nicky Butt speaks a lot of sense in this interview. I think he's basically saying not a chance is this 2028 thing going to happen. And also, no one else is just going to open the door for Man United. Like, they're all competing and they're all competing from way ahead of us. Going to be difficult. Ryan Giggs says, we're such a big club and had success for such a long time. It happened to us before we won the league and it happened to Liverpool. We need lots and lots of players, but you never know. It can happen in a short space of time, but you need a lot of things to go for you, and that's in relation to getting back. Nicky Butt was asked about what he thought about the recruitment policy. Over the years, Man United has looked like a plaster on a gaping wound. It doesn't work. They haven't got the finances. They have to get their house in order. They have to be a proper football club. and work to a design, an ethos and a recruitment drive of how to get players in and get them out for big money. Obviously, they got rid of Dan Ashworth, which I thought was a strange one, having worked so hard to get him from Newcastle. I think if you got back David Gill and Sir Alex Ferguson, it's going to be a struggle for a long time. We're at the bottom of the mountain and there's a massive climb to get back up. I mean, it's just very realistic. And I think it's really good when it comes from somebody like Nicky Butt, who actually was working in the football club until about, was it 4 or 5 years ago? So I think, yeah, it really does resonate very, very much so. Sorry, I'm getting asked a stupid question when I'm live here. Domestic, and it's not from Mrs. Goldbridge. So yeah, I think Nicky Butt speaks with a bit of knowledge of how Manchester United has been run, considering he was there for a few years as well. And I think it is going to take a long time. I think it really will take a long time. It surprises me that people think it wouldn't. Hope Rashford smashes it after Tuchel's picked him, says Robert McCormack. Patrick Lynch says Butt is 100% correct. Doing it on less and keeping the cost down only increases the difficulty and timeline of being successful. It's common sense. Nicky Butt equals Mark Goldbridge, says Barker. So Gareth Southgate says it's going to be strange watching England without a proper British manager. Do you agree? I'm looking forward to it. Leaf, welcome to the Members Club. Ian Tracy says, great show on Wednesday, Mark. Positive news about Aiden Heaven. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you're doing well. Phil Cartwright has gifted a membership. And Ray Martin says, what is your most important positional signing? Mine is right wing back and centre midfielder. It's a bloody good question. I definitely think wingers, wide players. Yeah, I think, and I definitely think midfielder. I think I would agree with you, Ray. I mean, we do need a striker, we do need a centre back, and we do need a number 10. But I would agree with you. They're probably where I would go. Henry T has gifted a membership as well. And great show, Mark. Thank you for 10 years. May there be many more. Yes, 10 years. Unbelievable, DJ John. Thank you. Dave Naylor, welcome to the Members Club. And also Lily Gray as well. There are a few more comments I wanted to go through here as well. Just working through this interview with Nicky Butt and Ryan Giggs. Are you disappointed the financial problems could force homegrown talents like Mainu to be sold? Nicky Butt says it's nice to hear that Cobby might be leaving. It's not nice to hear that Mainu might be leaving because of FFP or whatever they want to call it. But it's been wrongly run for so many years financially that now the people in charge are going to have to deal with that. What's happening now is a sad effect of what's been going on for the last 10 to 12 years. If you don't get your house in order early doors, you start letting the money just burn away. Then that's what happens. So look, I think those things are really, really damning, especially from Nicky Butt. And look, I don't want to say this, but I think that there has to be accountability. I mean, look, let's bring it into something a little bit topical. I saw Plettigol tonight putting out a couple of tweets about Benjamin Sesko and Ekatike of Eintracht Frankfurt, who we've both been linked to with price tags of 80 million euros. Now, Plettigol is based in Germany, and both Sesko and Ekatike play in Germany. So you can pretty much guess that he's getting information from Frankfurt and Leipzig about their expectations in the summer transfer window. So you can almost see why we're now focusing on Jonathan David or Liam Delap, because if Osimhen and Gyökeres are not on United's radar because of age or, let's be honest, price, then Sesko and Ekatike are not going to be on the agenda just because they're young, but their price is the same as Gyökeres and Osimhen. So those four players are probably out of our reach. Gabriel, out of reach, you know. So you've got Ekatike, Sesko, Gyökeres, Osimhen, all north £60 million players. Does that price us out of every one of those deals? And does that put us in a situation where this is why we're looking at Jonathan David on a free? And this goes back to sort of what Nicky Butt's talking about. Project 28, Project Kiss My Arse. Not going to happen. Because nobody else is going to go, Man United have had to go for Jonathan David on a free. Let's put the handbrake on a little bit and let them catch up. No. Where is Osimhen going to go? Where is Gyökeres going to go? Where is Sesko going to go? Where is Ekatike going to go? Probably all going to end up in the Premier League at one of our rivals, and they're all made. So look, what I'm trying to say is, Man United signed Jonathan David or Liam Delap. Arsenal signed Gyökeres. We're already miles behind Arsenal, and they've just bought a better striker than us. chances are we're going to stay a long way behind them, aren't we? And I think that's the point, isn't it? Man United's Amorim plan under Sir Jim is to do it long-term, cheap. But the gap gets bigger, mate. It's all right having a long-term plan if you're bringing in best in class, but this plan, and obviously we've got to see what happens in the summer, but it is a little bit like Daz says, we're just falling behind further and further. Young players equals patience and time. And there was a good comment here from Ryan Giggs that I didn't actually agree with. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Where did he say it? Where did he say it? What are your views on ticket price rises? Where did he say it? He said something. I don't want to misquote it. That's annoying. I must have skipped it on one of the other questions. I will find it because it's really important. Yeah, this is what Ryan Giggs said about recruitment. So he basically said, I've said for a long time that we need young, hungry and players who want to play for the club. People who realise it's not going to be an easy ride and a bit of a soft touch. Come and finish a career or get money you perhaps don't deserve. I think there's been some harsh and truthful words being spoken over the last couple of months by Jim Radcliffe and Ruben Amorim. Maybe it was needed. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I disagree, actually. I disagree with this to a certain extent. And it's hard to get the context from written words. I haven't heard what he said, but he might have just been following on from what Nicky Butt said. But Ryan Giggs saying, I've said for a long time that we need young, hungry players who want to play for the club. I disagree. I disagree because I see it every week. And I don't think just constantly signing young, hungry players is not going to do it. It's not going to do it. You've got to have a core of experienced players as well. I watched Ryan Giggs break into the Man United side. He wasn't the leader of a bunch of young players. There was Brian McClare, there was Mark Hughes, there was Paul Ince, there was Dennis Irwin, there was Peter Schmeichel, there was Steve Bruce, there was Gary Pallister. There was an abundance of experienced players. And when in '96, when the rest of the class of '92 started breaking as well, you got Roy Keane, you got Eric Cantona, you got Schmeichel, you still got Irwin, you still got Bruce, you still got these players. Obviously, it looks like Man United are going to go down this road of young, but let's not forget that the reason we're going for young is twofold: cheap, sell on value. That's why Man United are going young. That's why Man United are looking at Garnacho and Mainu to sell, because it's pure profit. Let's not pretend that Sir Jim Radcliffe and the Glazers have suddenly gone, we think the pathway to dominating football is to build a young team. That's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, we'd rather spend money on a 21-year-old striker than a 26-year-old striker where there's no resale value. And I think we have got to bring some experienced players in. The previous question about who I would like to bring in was someone like Frimpong, because although I think he's still around 25, he is experienced. Experience doesn't mean 29. I don't mind a few more De Lits, a few more Mazraouis, but I genuinely think that when Casemiro goes, we really do need some more experience in that team. Gabrielle's just gifted 5 memberships, by the way. So as Digo is a new member. What an amazing 10-year show, says Adarsh. Get in. And just want to say, Mark, hugely respect your work ethic and the effort you put in. Glad the show went well. Respect. Thank you, JK. Appreciate that. Lily Gray as well. A few people mentioning the show because I have actually just uploaded it to the members section. So the complete United Stand live show that we did in Dublin, all our 1 hour and a half of it is on the members section for you to watch at your freedom. Fantastic. It's probably the best one we've filmed. The audio is fantastic, but it's definitely the best show we've done. Danny in the script from the script band closes the show off. We've got a quiz element in there. There's a really funny bit. Ricky lost it for about 5 minutes talking about Bruno. I'm telling you now, Bruno. Just check it out. If you're a member, check it out. If you're not a member, join the members club and check it out. But it's there for you to peruse however many times you want. River Manu says, buy them at the contract before their big contract. Rangnick, as a fan base, we should remember that advice, says River Manu. Well, I think Gabrielle has gifted 5 memberships, by the way. What a legend. I think that buying players that are going to be good in the future is absolutely fine, but there is no blueprint of a team that does that without experience as well. I mean, look, talking about Bruno, Bruno was getting stick again last night because he played shit for Portugal, apparently. I couldn't give a toss. I really couldn't give a toss. Last couple of games he's been really important for us at Manchester United. But we do need a few more experienced players at Manchester United. And I think if we don't do that, then we are probably going to struggle. Get your questions in anyway. It is a Friday night show. Liam's going to watch the Dublin show. Yeah, check it about that. It's about the here and now, says Marvin AM. Yeah, I think this is the thing that I don't think United fans are in conflict, but I do think that there is there's definitely something to be said about, like, look, as I was talking about a few minutes ago, we had protests, and in 48 hours, they'd silenced a percentage of our angry fan base and made them start arguing with each other. Like, the 58 were putting tweets out about the protests and about the stadium pictures, and people were taking a pop at them in their replies. The Glazers have done nothing, and they've already turned people against each other. It's incredible. Look, you know, unfortunately, there are people in our fan base that do the Glazers' work and they don't even realise. They do. They absolutely do. Some of them do the Glazers' work and they're doing it on purpose. There are aggregators out there that are literally Glazer bitches. But I couldn't believe it when the pictures of the stadium came out, because I was like, it's just so obvious. I mean, look, this is what, I mean, funnily enough, I mean, let's talk about what Nicky Butt and Ryan Giggs said. What do you make of the new stadium design? Nicky Butt says, you have to move with the times, and the club haven't been that dynamic for a long time. It's sad to say, but the ground isn't what it used to be, and it's great that they've got some plans. Whether or not it's doable is anyone's guess. And Ryan Giggs said the design isn't going to look like that, I don't think, but it's going to be a new stadium, which it looks like it needs to be the best. I think everyone would like to keep the stadium as it is, like what they've done at the Nou Camp and the Bernabeu. If that isn't possible, then the next big thing is a new stadium. Man United has always been at the forefront, and we've fallen behind. I think that I genuinely don't think that those images. Let me word this in the right way. I keep saying they've released images of a stadium that may never get built to calm down an angry fan base. I mean, it's incredible, really. I mean, I don't know whether other football clubs other football clubs fans would fall for it or not, but design images of a stadium that's not even had the green light and isn't even been funded, and the regeneration project hasn't even been signed off, is incredible. That you can go from what we've had, season ticket prices, people being sacked, charities having their money cut, Old Trafford's going to get knocked down, but here's some pictures of something that looks pretty. Yeah, it's I find it baffling that people fall into that trap. But honestly, the most important thing to me is what's happening on the football pitch and what's been happening on the football pitch for the last 12 years. And Project 2028 is not going to work. It's just not going to work. 100% not going to work. Teams are not going to stand back and let us walk through. And also, what I think people miss, the biggest thing I think they miss, is that if you wanted to win the league in 2028, you would have to forget what Arsenal are going to do, forget what Liverpool are going to do. They're not going to stand still. They're not going to stand still and just let us take what we want. But even if they did, are Man United capable of building a title-winning team in 3 seasons? Not on the evidence I've seen so far. I mean, the chances are that Onana will be our goalkeeper next year. Delo will still be our right wing-back. That's just 2 players I've mentioned, but if you want to build a title-winning team, you need to get on with it now. Like Marvin said, it's about now, not tomorrow, and everything just seems to be in the future. I mean, look, you can take the piss out of Barcelona like we were a couple of summers ago, where they're pulling more levers than a pinball machine. Remember that summer where they were broke, but they were selling rights here, they were selling rights there to raise money to buy players. I mean, bloody hell, they stole Rafinha from Leeds. Where was Rafinha meant to be going? Arsenal? And they went and got that deal done when they had no money. So, you've got Barcelona, who might win La Liga and the Champions League this year within 2 years of facing financial ruin where Messi walked out the door, or 3 years, or whatever it was. But Barcelona's approach to impending doom was, we need to spend money. We need to fight back. We're not where we need to be and we need to spend money. Man United's response to impending doom is, we don't want to spend money and we've got a plan for the future, and it's about not spending money and being patient. And as I've said to you before, I do not think in football that there is such a way to run a football club. Buy them at the... Done that one from River Manu as well. Appreciate that. There we go. Bruno is the best midfielder in the world, and he has been for years, says Amir. It's great that you've got an opinion that no one will agree with, but fair play. Rafinha and Koundé to Chelsea was almost a done deal, says Omran. And Rafinha wanted to go to Barcelona, though, says Amir. But what's that got to do with the price of bread? That's not what I was talking about. I wish you'd listen. That's not what I said. I said that they were nearly broke as a football club and they pulled more levers than a pinball machine to raise money to buy players in. I didn't say where Rafinha wanted to go is irrelevant. They had no fucking money. That's the point. And they found ways to get money in so they could buy these players. That's my point. But Man United seem to think that that's not the way to do it. But it will be. We're not even competing now and they expect us to win the league 2028, says Marvin. I mean, look, on the positive side of things, it's very difficult to predict the progress Manchester United could make. I mean, I could imagine next season, I don't think it's been done on purpose. It's like me saying Man City have been absolutely shite this season. What a coincidence that Man United go from juggernaut to jug of crap in the weeks leading up to the decision on their FFP case, or the 115. I think that's just a coincidence. But if this case had been done last year when Man City were dominating football, then, you know, is it a coincidence that Man City are crap right before they're about to get the decision on their court case? Of course it is. Of course it is. But is it a coincidence that Man United are going to finish in the bottom half of the Premier League table right before Amorim's first transfer window and first full season? Yes, it is. Because what I'm trying to say is that Man United will be better next season. We should never, ever, ever, ever be finishing below 8th place. Never. We finished 8th last year and we got laughed at. We've doubled it. We could finish 16th. You look at our fixtures. We've got to go Forest, we've got to go Newcastle, we've got to go Chelsea, we've got to go Bournemouth, we've got to go Brentford, we've got to play Man City and Villa at home. We've got 7 really tough games. We could easily finish 16th, which is criminal. People should be doing time in prison for that. 16th for Manchester United, you know? 16th. That could happen. But then next season, you know what? Finishing 6th is shit, but we might do that next year and everyone will go, wow, we've gone up 10 places. It's still shit, but that's what I mean about next season. I think there will be progress, but I don't think 6th place is really where Man United should be, but there will be progress. And then it's about whether you can go from 6th to top 4 in year 2. A long way back. It's a long way back, but there will be progress next year because it just simply cannot be this again. I mean, when you really think about it, it's incredible that we are going to finish in the bottom half of the table. But of course, we've got that Europa League there as well. Rochelle says the Glazers and Ineos have brainwashed the fans. Don't be fooled with the new stadium. Thank you very much for that. Gabrielle has gifted another 5 memberships. Gabrielle's going for it. Don't tell Mojo. Lovely stuff. Remember, you need to be a member to watch the live Dublin show, but I tell you what, it might be one of the best things you watch this weekend. It's fantastic. Anders says, are we supposed to accept that we're going to be crap for years to build a stadium that will make the owners rich? No guarantee we'll buy players after that, says Anders. Yes, we are expected to put it up with that, mate, and it's a very good way of putting it. The building of this stadium with government backing is actually going to double the Glazers' money. Yeah. Buy them. Thank you very much, Anders. Very intelligent comment. Mirror FTW says, after all the failed big talented transfers, I'd love to see Man United develop players to elite level rather than being called a graveyard shift for talent. Yeah, but Mirror, I think there's something very naive about that because it's just too simplistic. Why has nobody else ever done that then? Let's spend the next 5 years just buying loads and loads of young talent and let's develop them into really good players. Sounds absolutely brilliant. Why has no one ever done it then? Because young players develop better and to their full potential when they have older experienced players to protect them and nurture them. When you chuck young players into difficult environments, they don't develop. It slows their development. It hurts their development. And that is why every team that's been successful that brings young players in will have a core of very good experienced players who are good at developing. Man United's policy at the moment seems to be, let's buy loads and loads of young players and develop a really good team. And if it works, great, but you need to have experience. You need to have people who know what they're doing. For example, if I'm Garnacho and I'm the star from 20, look at Garnacho as a Man United player. I was at the Dublin show on Wednesday. Garnacho got mentioned when, well, you'll see it yourself, when Ricky and Beth are talking about Garnacho. I couldn't talk because I wasn't on the stage at that time. Easily 60% wanted Garnacho gone. And is that not the answer I'm talking about there? Garnacho's 20, nowhere near his potential yet, but people have already made their mind up on him. So there's your development. Let's develop a really good team over a few years that becomes really good. But people give up on these young players because they put too much pressure on them. They expect too much from them. And that's what the reality is. We don't have this ideal fan base that's going to sit on its arse for 5 years and say it doesn't matter. And why should we? Amazing 10-year show, Mark. Keep up the amazing work, says Carla, Derbyshire. You're a legend. Thank you very much. Hope you've checked it out. Chelsea are full of young players and failing now, says Riley. Yeah. Amit, welcome to the Members Club. And I can't help feel something nasty lingering for us, says Keel. I don't think, Keel, and I absolutely cannot make any predictions about the future of Manchester United Football Club. I can't predict it. But what I will say is I can't see us having a Premier League season as bad as this again. I think, and I'm confident to say this, we will never have a Premier League season as bad as this for a very, very long time. But that exposes just how bad this Premier League season is. We should never, ever, ever be below 8th in the Premier League. And I can't imagine another season where Man United go down this far. I don't think people understand how bad it is, really. Kev is in the chat. Hope you're doing well, Kev. Nice to see you back, Mark. Says Niall Gallagher. It is good to be back. I had to tell you what, I had a great couple of days in Dublin. It was absolutely fantastic. Muller says, people like Mark. What's that? People like Mark. That's a very stereotypical thing to say. People like Mark. People like Mark were asking for guys like Varane, Sancho, Glazers spend. Birmingham fans like Mark are the reason United where they are. Fuck off. Absolute prick. What a knobhead thing to say. I mean, look, I don't mind people taking a pop at me. It makes me laugh. But what's Birmingham fans? I'm not even from fucking Birmingham for a start. What are you talking about? So we've got, I tell you what, Muller, I guarantee if you're saying people like Mark and Birmingham fans, I guarantee there's some very interesting conversations you would have where you'd get yourself locked up about more serious topics. People like, starting any sentence with people like exposes what you're like, Muller, to be honest with you. And anyway, I wanted Sancho. Jadon Sancho at Dortmund was a player that we tried to get one summer and got the following summer. I didn't really, I'm never going to, look, I'm one of them people that will own up to what I said. I wanted Jadon Sancho. I wanted Jadon Sancho, but I tell you what, mate, I wasn't party to the information that Man United had. I wasn't party to, I don't hang around with Jadon Sancho. I didn't, all I knew was what I saw in a Dortmund shirt. I didn't know about all the other stuff, what his character's like, what his mentality's like. I don't have all that information. I just see a talented footballer at Dortmund, and yes, I was excited about it. But Man United's due diligence on signings is fucking awful. Awful. Look at Eric Bailly, injured with 3 separate injuries before. Apparently, Mason Mount's medical was borderline. and United still signed him. So I don't have this. When we signed Mason Mount, I said, don't really understand why we've bought him, but I do like the player. But I'm not party to those information. I didn't. Rafael Varane, one of the best centre-backs in the world. Oh, I'm an idiot because I wanted us to sign him. I'm not a bloody idiot. He's one of the best centre-backs in the world. But I wasn't party to his fucking medical, was I? And if I had been, I might have gone, steer clear. But I wasn't. So don't ever beat yourself up as a fan because you said, I want this player, and then they were a flop. You don't know the mentality. Look, Anthony, Man United, I'll give you another one. When Anthony came to Man United, I said, that's the signing of the summer that excites me the most. Now, considering we bought Martinez, Casemiro, Eriksen, and who else did we buy that summer? Malacia, forget that. But Casemiro, Martinez, and Eriksen have all been better signings than Anthony. But my number one exciting signing of that summer was Anthony, based on what I'd seen at Ajax. But I don't know what Ten Hag knew. I don't know that actually Anthony's might not be suitable to the Premier League. Or maybe Ten Hag thought he was. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you can't predict the future. There's been plenty of signings that you go, I remember Fernando Torres going from Liverpool, one of the world's best strikers, to Chelsea. Shit. But what, did he go with an injury? You know, was there a mentality issue? I was convinced he was going to be brilliant for Chelsea, and I'm sure Chelsea fans were as well. We don't know. All we see is the player and the transfer fee. We don't know the injuries. We don't know the personalities. So, look, this is where, and Nicky Butt said it, and you've said it, and I've said it, this is where you sign players, and as fans, you can only sign them based on what you see on the pitch. But the club, they should get the full picture. They know the injury record, they know the medical, they know the personality, they know what they do in the private life. They should know all about that, 100%. I'm going to have to go in a minute because England are going to kick off. Right, make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Do not miss the Dublin show. It is now live on the members section. You are getting an absolute brilliant piece of material. I'm going to have to turn that off. Oh, no, you're being too... Oh, get off. Volume. Yeah, you're getting a brilliant show. Our best show we've ever done. I don't know whether we'll ever do another show, so I don't think we'll be able to top it. But it's a gift to the members who couldn't be there. Or if you were there, you can watch it back. You'll really enjoy it, and it's on the members section now. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. I'm back with you now for the weekend, and next week, I think I'm back with you, yeah. I think I'm here next week as well. So lots to get into. A few videos I want to do in the second week of the international break, especially with all you lot. But if you want to watch England with me, I'm going over to That's Football to watch England, and we're live in about 4 minutes. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.